you were dying. That's not fun for anyone, even if you can romanticize parts.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can romanticize. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And welcome back to another episode of Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast. I don't know.
I didn't work it out, but I had kind of a tagline when I was taking a shower earlier. It was something like, we're not therapists, but we pretend to be, or something.
Ooh. Okay, I like that one. We don't have to record it again, though.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we are. Got it?
Yeah. We're not therapists, even though I guess we do pretend sometimes. I'm Christina, your co-host.
And I'm Lauren, your other co-host.
And we're back after the holiday. Black Friday was yesterday, and I didn't leave the house.
I made the huge mistake of leaving the house. Basically, I was just going to pick up a few things at the grocery store, and I'm thinking, nobody's doing Black Friday shopping at the grocery store. You know, I avoided it before Thanksgiving, of course. But you hop on the highway and you just take it for like 1 mile. I get on and I see it is stopped and it's too late. I'm on. There's already something that says, like at the next exit, there's a big crash. And I'm thinking as I'm waiting in it too, I'm like, shit, that is also the exit that you take to get to one of the huge malls in this area. It's like, I'm so fucked.
Oh, no.
So I just kind of like, while I'm sitting there inching forward, then I'm like searching, and I'm kind of like, I think if I take the next exit, take it the other way, I can go to a grocery store more out of the way, but I will probably get there 10 times as fast because of this bullshit. But yes.
Yeah.
A 10-minute grocery store trip ended up taking me 2 hours.
That sounds about right.
Uh-huh.
I was actually at a mall this weekend. I spent most of the weekend with friends, and at one point we wanted to go to this craft reuse store in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, it was closed.
Oh.
But it really brought me back to shopping at the mall around the holidays as a kid and how fucking insane it was.
Uh-huh.
And now we were like the only people in the whole mall. It's like a ghost town.
Oh, wow.
And that's like every mall I've been to recently.
I will say, yeah, there's like 2 big ones here that I feel like it's the first time in a long time that I have seen malls with business. Like they seem to still somewhat depend on theirs, but I know because anywhere else I've been has been like a horror movie.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm even so sad about it because, yeah, I feel like malls are not all they're cracked up to be. Like,
I think it's the nostalgia because, like you said, you have the memories of it and everything. But I know, and then when I think about it too much, it's like, isn't this like good riddance?
Yeah, it's almost like our eating disorders.
Oh, that you look back like, oh, remember that time, and it's like, wait, no, that sucked.
Or addiction, or whatever, or toxic relationships. You're like, man, I had some great times. Anyway, we skipped last week because I don't even remember why now. I was sick, I think?
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd been sick, and I think both of us, I don't know what was going on, where we both were just like, I have nothing to talk about, and it's a bad day.
I don't mind skipping when, like, it's going to be an empty episode anyway, and I don't want to subject listeners to, like, filler shit. Even though I'm sure there's people that would love it if we posted every single week without fail for the rest of our lives. What? It sounded like you were about to say something.
I was, and then I lost it.
Well, that's a good segue. Lauren, where are you at?
Okay. So I said I was trying to kind of take notes. It's all of the same stuff that I feel like I've talked about ad nauseum for the past year. But if there's a theme, I think it's frustration. Frustration at work, frustration at relationship things. And I mean, I guess this isn't frustration as much. Maybe frustration at not having my dog anymore. But, like those are my big things. But I can tell you about like some specifics where this is coming from. So like work, I don't feel like I'm on the same level as everyone else. I'm not sure if that's the way I want to describe it. It feels like I mean, have you ever heard the phrase when people say, "Oh, I feel like the redheaded stepchild"?
Yes.
You're kind of like the afterthought or not as important or something.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And on the one hand, I don't want to complain because I do think in general, my work is more generous than a lot. And I feel like I reap a lot of benefits just from being employed there. Like they made a commitment. They always want to pay 100% of their employees' health premiums. So,
wow.
Nothing gets taken out of my check for health insurance.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty good. And a couple times a month, I mean, they'll just like cater in lunch for us just because or things like that. But it's the imbalance because like I do the accounting and I happened to notice like when I'm doing our credit card bill, things like, wow, the last 3 or 4 employees that had birthdays are all on here getting like $100 Amazon gift certificates sent to them. And I was like, and did I see anything like that? No.
That's so awkward.
It's not like I want to be like, you guys are so stingy, you don't do anything, like pay all my health insurance, but...
Well, it's not like you even necessarily wanted the gift card. It's like the gesture. No, it's the principle of the matter.
It's more like seeing like this happens for everybody, but oh, we forgot about Lauren.
Yeah, and it's been a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like that's kind of frustrating. And the other frustrating thing is feeling like the other accounting person who I work with, who, is supposed to be more the role of like my supervisor, but she works remotely, so we just kind of like do Zoom meetings and things like that mostly to talk. I like her and I like having somebody that understands my job there for once, because I feel like that's the reason I didn't get appreciated. But working with people that are clearly mothers and clearly wanted to be mothers, I think that is what is frustrating me, because it seems like all these problems that we're having with people not doing what they're supposed to, she's like, well, maybe we need to start giving them individual reminders instead of, like the general one, and, do this and make sure that you call this out and can you do this for them and this for them? And I'm just kind of like, how come that's your solution for everyone else? And I don't expect anyone to do that for me. If I'm not doing my job, I feel like I got to learn how to do it.
Oh, you mean she's like babying everyone?
Yes. Like it's getting to a point where, yeah, she's like, we could do this for them and we can set reminders and we can, like spend more of our time. Like,
well, do you feel like the others have histories of like weaponized incompetence?
There's certain people that are like repeat offenders. So clearly,
gotcha.
Like I don't know if someone's always done everything for them or if they just don't care that much. But that's what is annoying, is it seems like that is her solution, is like, let's find more ways to help them and make it easier for them, where I'm just like, maybe they're not cut out for this job. I don't know. I feel like at our last meeting, I was just kind of like, do you want me to tie their shoes for them and pack them a lunch? I mean...
Yeah, and I don't know anything about these people. I'm assuming, like, I can see if some people needed accommodations at work or something. Like, it's a good thing that people are so helpful, and like, but I have a feeling that's not the situation at your job.
It's not like because of, something physical or mental or personality or whatever, that it's kind of like they're up against a harder time trying to do this job and you can make it easier. It's more just like, I think they don't think doing anything for me is that important because, again, I'm really the only person handling with the numbers. They're just kind of like, well, no, it's important for me just to sell insurance and then you take care of everything else for me.
Do you feel like accommodating them is like taking up a big portion of your job?
I feel like it is more and more. I feel like it's sneakily becoming that. Because, it feels like every time it's like one little thing, like, well, maybe we can start doing this. Maybe we can make this spreadsheet for them so they can easily see what they need to do. And it's like, eventually, all I'm going to be doing is trying to make their job easier.
I feel like there's a subtopic that we could go down from here because we're both very self-sufficient people.
Yes.
Like you were the kid of someone with another special needs kid and I was the oldest kid. Mm-hmm. And so that made it so like we don't really express our needs. We do figure out everything on our own. It's hard for us to ask for help. But I don't know about you, but there's been times where I really wish I wasn't help and the attention that other people get.
You are going so perfectly into one of my other notes. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, yeah, it's like sometimes do you wish that you could have that same attention? I don't know. That's basically it, I guess, is feeling that resentment. Like, why do I have to learn everything on my own? It gets exhausting. Like, sometimes I do want someone to hold my hand and explain things to me slowly, because those are the times where I actually retain the information more than if I like watch a bunch of YouTube videos on my own and like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
somehow figure it out.
Where it's like, I can figure it out on my own, but it's a lot more work and it's tedious, and sometimes it'd be nice if someone, looked out for me.
I mean, you do feel kind of alone there, and this kind of thing seems like it would just make that worse.
Yeah, and that's been the frustration, I feel like, with the whole relationship recently, and that's what we have talked about a lot in therapy. It was really funny because when we were talking about it, and I was saying how I've seen people the opposite way. Like, I know that you can't just sit back and just do your thing and expect somebody to notice you. Like, you can't expect people to be mind readers. You can't, all the time just be like, well, you're just supposed to see everything, and I don't have to ask for any of my needs because you're just supposed to notice and take care of it.
Oh, yeah, I've totally done that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing is, there's some people that I feel like are always like that. And so I know I'm kind of like, yeah, if that was my problem, then I would understand saying, like, you can't do that. You do have to, like, speak up sometimes. But what I was saying, and I don't think I even had to because my therapist is great and knows me. She was like, yeah, but you've always had to. And I was like, I know.
And it's not like you haven't communicated your needs either.
Mm-hmm. And
I feel like you've been getting better at that, like even over the course of the podcast.
Yeah, that's something too, is I feel like I know that is something I feel like I've worked on. Because I think I would lean more towards that. Like, I guess just nobody noticed me, and becoming aware of that was like, okay, it's not easy, but I can't expect people to mind read all the time, like I said. But yeah, so then when you actually put effort and you do it, and still there is like never a time that somebody sees you, I think that's what gets frustrating, is like there needs to be some push and pull. So I was talking about that happening, I felt like, in the relationship, and I said, like, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think, maybe like he just is clueless and doesn't understand a person that had to grow up that way. And she's like, remind me, was he an only child? And I was like, no, he was the youngest of 5. And she's like, that's it. He's never had to ask for anything in his life. I was like, yup.
Well, yeah. And I feel like those people, they don't know any other way than like depending on others.
Exactly.
I mean, we're generalizing here, but in this situation, I think it's true.
So yeah, I was going to, do an aerial open gym after this, but I woke up to 5 inches of snow already, and we're currently getting a nice layer of freezing rain to seal it in. So I was like,
oh no.
No, I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, so I was planning to go, and boyfriend and I went out to what's becoming our favorite. It's the liquor store bar.
Wait, what?
So my local liquor store, we poked in once and we're like, there's a full bar in there. And
what?
Yeah. And then we went there one day just to like see what it was like. And it's amazing. It's like the same 2 bartenders are always there. They are clearly like masters of their craft. They will make you a fancy cocktail, and we started going all the time, so now they know us. They see when we walk in, and one like points to 2 seats in front of the bar, like, there's 2 for you guys. So.
Oh my god, okay, I love that. Also, that sounds really dangerous.
The bar, I think, is a separate business, so like they have their own liquors and beers, so it is just like being at a bar, but you are also in a liquor store.
I mean, if I were me, I would be like, man, now I can get a little buzz going for when I'm shopping for liquor.
Right.
Like, oh my god. Okay, anyway, the liquor store bar.
Yes. So we were there, and afterwards we're like, crap, we need food. All that's open is Taco Bell. So we ran through there, and I sent a text that said, oh boy, I just realized I'm going to have to try to go to an open practice mainly fueled by Taco Bell. I am afraid for how that will go. The response is basically, nah, you'll be okay, but I already feel it.
Oh, no.
That's where it's kind of like, I can see the other side where, like he always says, yeah, and anything that I might bring up, like, no, you'll be fine and everything, like, as someone that did not grow up with my trauma related to that, then this could just sound like being positive, like, no, you gotta think that it'll be okay. Maybe it will. Like, if that's the thought process, it's not ill-intentioned, but it is definitely coming off like, no, you're fine because you're always fine because you have to be fine.
Well, I think without context, it would seem like not a big deal, but like he has a pattern of saying that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kind of dismissing your needs, your problems.
And, it would be something maybe that it'd be easier to like talk about and be like, hey, sometimes I need you to maybe like commiserate with me or something like that. But I feel like it's also such a sensitive topic with me because it's more, to me, it's kind of like, great, you're reenacting everything that fucked me up about my childhood. And I'm like, I don't think he realizes it's that heavy of a situation.
I was going to say, like, does he know that?
I mean, we've made some comments about how our parents were growing up and how that's affected us into adulthood, the mistakes they made and didn't mean to and whatever. But yeah.
That is frustrating.
I mean, I've done this with partners in the past, especially because this is a therapist that just like gets me so well and we're so in tune. And I'm just like, I don't know, maybe after I've seen her for a while, I'll be like, can you come to a session?
Seriously? I've never done couples therapy. There have been times where I've discussed it with my partner, but I feel like it's something that has a lot of stigma, but is actually really good for anybody to do.
Yeah, I've never done couples therapy, but like I said, I have asked a partner like to come to a session, and I think it is because of me. I have trouble expressing my feelings and will like back down easily and things like that. So it's just kind of like putting a situation where I'm like, okay, I've vetted this person that I have been opening up about everything to, and I know that they are on my side. And they'll understand where I feel like I'm tongue-tied. So it's kind of like, I want you to know about me, but I'm having trouble doing it myself. Here's a way to help.
Yeah, that would be awesome for you guys.
We've always talked about importance of mental health. I know he's been in therapy several times in the past too, so I don't think, I'd suggest it and be like, blah, I'm going to go to a therapy session.
Yeah, everyone needs therapy. I don't know.
I mean, I've talked a lot.
Are we technically still in Where You At? Jesus.
I was just going to say, like, wait, I haven't even asked, where are you at?
I mean, it doesn't matter on these episodes. The whole thing is kind of a Where You At. I am feeling, I don't know. I feel like the holidays, I get into this sort of mood that's kind of like for the rest of the year, anything goes. I just try to like keep myself alive. I don't know. I drove to my old town over the weekend to stay with friends, and I saw some family members as well. Also, my baby sister is engaged.
Yes, I saw.
I don't know if I should have said her name. But yeah, she's engaged. We really love the guy. He's great. It's going to be the first time any of us daughters have had a wedding in our family, and our mom is losing her shit.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, it's adorable. But yeah, it was a really nice, low-key weekend. It was mostly nice to be around safe people, just to be around people in general, because I'm pretty isolated here in Richmond, at least physically. And so yesterday afternoon, as I was getting ready to leave, this like wave of malaise kind of came over me. And I was like, what's up with that? I shouldn't be depressed because I'm with these people and I'm safe and everything. And it just never ceased. Like it got worse that whole day. And then by the time I got back here last night, it was just like a full on depressive episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's like emotional backlash. It's like a crash almost. Like I have all of this dopamine or serotonin, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. The good stuff.
The good drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I go back to my normal life, which I was totally dealing with. But now that I've had that, it seems it's, I don't know.
And I feel like, are both people, because I wonder, you said like you started to feel that when you were there and felt like I shouldn't feel like this way because I'm surrounded by people. But I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like we anticipate a lot. So if you think that's it, I'm like, were you already like seeing like, this is great right now and it's going to end?
Exactly. I even try to think, well, I romanticize everything in the past, but when I'm in that moment, I feel like I don't appreciate it for what it is. And so I try to almost trick myself, like, imagine this is going to be your past. What do you think future you would have wanted to do in this moment in the past?
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
That I think is smart.
I mean, it doesn't work all the time, but...
No, we're like, that's very insightful. Maybe we are therapists.
Well, speaking of the past, this was a topic you wanted to talk about that we kind of talked about on Peach, but I spend a lot of time examining the past and trying to find meaning from it and validation, understanding, whatever. And I don't know why I do that. I mean, I write memoir, obviously. It's like part of my hobby / livelihood. I don't know. But it's not even always a pleasant place to be.
No, a lot of times it's not.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can romanticize about the past. And so, like, for instance, I keep going back to the years in Seattle where I was at the sickest and most miserable. Like, my disease controlled every aspect of my life. I didn't have any days off. It was just 24/7. It was miserable. And yet I think back to that time, and it does have this kind of romantic quality to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I do that. And so this morning I was journaling about that because I knew we would talk about this. And I was like, I wish I could dedicate the same amount of energy to being in the present that I used to be in the past. Because, like, what could I be doing in the time I am examining the past? I could be building a present. I don't know.
When you said present, I thought like gift at first. I'm like, building a present?
A present for myself. I mean, that's basically it. I just wanted to hear more of your thoughts because you seemed really excited to talk about this.
Yeah. When you were just talking and saying like you romanticize parts of Seattle, even though like you were dying, that's not fun for anyone, even if you can romanticize parts. I do this a ton because the times that I liked best, I feel like in treatment, especially the one where we could get coffee before breakfast. You know, it's like they pour it for you because you only get 2 cups a day, but you could get it pretty much as soon as you were awake and had done vitals and everything like that. And
sipping coffee as we speak.
Yeah. So many mornings I think of getting that coffee, taking it outside with, a cigarette or a vape, depending on what year it was, and just like sitting out there knowing that, I didn't have obligations like work or classes, people to see, anything like that. It's kind of like, that's the time where the part about like you're checked out of life for a bit felt good. And also, I'm sipping strong coffee, I'm chatting with people, I'm smoking, and, it all felt fantastic for like half an hour. And I romanticize that, but then I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, but remember how the other 23 and a half hours in treatment or like the hardest thing you've had to do in your life and miserable parts?
Seriously. Oh man, that like unlocked something in me. I feel like one reason it's easier to revisit the bad times is because, and this might not be true for everyone, but I feel like when you're at your worst, like things are simple. They're way simpler.
True. Like
I would get up and I would figure out what drugs I was taking. I would figure out like when I was going to binge and purge on the way home from work, whatever. That's it. Any other things going on in my life is kind of blacked out because I wasn't giving it my full attention.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially when you're at treatment and you're right, you don't have any obligations. Like, I feel like in those times I could think more clearly than I had been able to prior when I was going through the shit.
Yeah.
It's almost like putting a pin in my memories. Like, this is the point I can go back to when I was in treatment. This is like, I don't know.
You're right. I mean, both of those are not fun times at all overall, but either your focus is just on like, how do I continue my addiction, or how do I get out of this? How do I work on myself? And it's just boiled down to that like one singular thing that you have to do.
And that's where it gets tricky too, because part of figuring it out for yourself and dealing with it is sometimes revisiting the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
So,
it's difficult.
Sorry. I think Taco is growling at the snowplow.
Okay, at first I thought you were laughing at me.
No.
Oh my god, I've been sitting on my ankle this whole time, like cross-legged, and I just uncrossed my legs, and now it feels like my ankle's broken.
Oh, I hate that.
God, I hate being old.
Me too.
Oh god.
What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about living in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a high school journal to Peach, like an excerpt.
Yeah.
And then you said, I mean this in the best possible way, but you do a lot of living in the past. Agreed. I'm actually saying this as maybe a podcast topic. Like, there's definitely some benefit. I've certainly done my fair share of trying to figure out how the hell I came to be the crazy mess I am. But it makes me think, could we talk about therapy, which often focuses on upbringing and history, and how it both helps and maybe hurts? And then you said, actually, that's it. Can we just talk about therapy this week?
I knew I ended it with that. Because like I said, I've just been getting so much good stuff from mine. I was like, can we just talk about therapy?
Yeah. I am still kind of on the fence with my new therapist.
Okay.
I mean, they're challenging me a lot. They're making me focus on like my bodily sensations as we do dig up this trauma.
I've done that too, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's probably good for us because we're two people who are very uncomfortable being in bodies.
Yeah, I think there is a valid point to it.
But yeah, I guess to circle back to like the depression, I feel like I always get this way around the holidays. And to me, the holidays start with Thanksgiving, and then the next like month or whatever, it's just, I kind of give myself permission to cope however I want to get through it. And I feel like I'm not alone in that.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just
either.
wondering if like there's just such a distinctive vibe shift in me that occurs like the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, all right.
I feel some of this too, and I'm just kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it is like a whole mind shift.
Well, and also every time I've gone to treatment, it's been in the wintertime. I feel like that's a time people struggle in general around the holidays, obviously.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for your coping methods to be like hyper active.
Yeah. There's a lot of extra stress. Some people love the time, so, they might get positives from that stress, like they enjoy it to some degree. But for us, I think it brings up a lot of past feelings, particularly around this time. And just a lot of like, how am I coping? And you just kind of feel like I'm just going to coast. I mean, almost like we were talking before, it starts to like boil down to like, I'm just going to survive. That's my only focus right now.
Seriously, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
I would like to survive, ?
But I do think, like just if you're doing what you got to do to survive, that's better than just saying, I'm going to just crash and burn.
I mean, I've done that too.
Well, yes. But what I'm saying is I'm trying now not to. I'm just saying, maybe I got to let these little things slip for a month so I can survive, instead of insisting it does not happen until it all falls apart and bottoms out.
I guess when I started this topic, I figured it was a bad thing. But now I'm like, you know what? Yeah, give yourself a month to just not crash and burn, but do whatever it takes.
Manage.
Yeah, if you were looking for permission,
yeah,
I guess this is it. You're not allowed to feel guilty about things you do to stay alive.
Yeah.
Also practice harm reduction and all that shit.
Yes.
I don't know what else to talk about.
I had another therapy topic that I wanted to talk about just because it makes me sad. Nothing really led into it. I guess maybe just like talking about things I didn't get growing up. And it was particularly when we were talking about a lot of the dog stuff, and realized that I think the first time that I really experienced unconditional love was with Pico. Because I had this story that as we're talking about it, I realized exactly that's what it was, because he had the incident where the dog bit off the little tip of his ear. And when that happened, I was just sitting with him on the bed, and the dog came up to the bed, and I was like, oh, they're not going crazy at each other, so maybe I just need to let them sniff at each other and they'll work this out. And then the dog lunged at him, chomped off a bit of his ear. I'm sitting there, I'm letting it happen. So of course I feel major guilt about this. And we take him, to the late night vet, they get him cleaned up. So, we're just giving him some pain meds and it'll heal up. It's like, okay. But obviously the day after, I'm not a dog, but he's got to be in some pain.
Yeah.
And we're driving home. And I mean, I would drive from St. Louis to Michigan and he knew to just sit in his little dog bed in the passenger seat the whole time. Very good. Unlike somebody who's prancing around my lap and would never sit still. But, so that's what he always knew to do on car trips. But this one, and I had about a 5-hour drive home. And I would say within the first 2 minutes, then, he's sitting there and he's like, nope. And he's crawling over like, I'm going to sit in your lap. And I try to put him over once, and he's like, hell no, I'm sitting in your lap. So the second time I was like, okay, you're sitting in my lap. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, here I am. I feel like guilty about this. Like I could have prevented it. Like I failed you and everything. And I'm just like, and here is the simplicity of a dog that is just saying, have no capacity to hold anything against you or be suspicious of you because of this. I just hurt right now and you're the person that makes me feel better. So I'm going to sit in your lap. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I know, but that's what I said. I was like, it's just simple, pure love. And she's like, yeah, that's the first time you got it with no conditions.
It's this thing that is almost like, what's the word? When something is like a legend, but you never see it in real life. Like unconditional love. I feel like that's something we talk about, but it's so rare in the real world. And I think it often does become exemplified through animals.
Yeah. And I think it's because of that. Like they don't have the reasoning capacity, so they just act on what they know. Like I said, it's just like, I want to feel better. Well, I'm going to do it.
What did your therapist have to say about that?
Oh, I mean, she probably wasn't that surprised. She thought it was very sad too, of course.
Ooh.
And, again, she's the one that I used to like bring Pico to the office, so I think I actually like made her cry a little bit in that conversation because she was just like, sweet boy. Yeah.
Hopefully Taco will get his act together. He's got big shoes to fill.
Uh-huh. He does admirably in the, like, snuggling, cuddling. He loves all that shit, but he's also a spaz. Quite needy.
When I was at my friend's house this weekend, there were 7 animals in the house.
Wow.
And so I was just always snuggling with an animal. It was great. This orange cat fell asleep on my chest and let me like play with his mouth and stuff. It was so cute. Ugh.
I mean, that was always my thing at like friends' parties. Like if I didn't know a bunch of people and I felt awkward, then I was just kind of like, I'll go snuggle their dog, cuddle their cats.
Obviously. So yeah, the holidays are upon us. As far as I know, we're going to keep podcasting regularly through it. We have a potential guest that I don't think I've talked to you about yet, Lauren.
No.
I'm probably going to cut this, but it's...
Okay.
She has just like a ton of stories I've heard and has been wanting to be on forever. So...
Nice. Love it.
So yeah, if anyone else wants to be on the show, you have a few weeks left to be on in 2025.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
On holiday stuff, I just wondered what you were planning to do, because I'm not planning to go back to Michigan.
Yeah, I'm not planning to go anywhere as of now.
Okay, that's what I wondered, because I was going to say we could talk a little bit about like how sometimes the stress of seeing family, giving yourself the gift of not having that.
Yeah, talk about a present.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll probably get roped into something, but as of now, I don't have plans, and I don't know if I want plans.
That's where, it's like I kind of, I still have to respond to my dad. I told my mom this week that I was like, I definitely don't think I'm going to. My dad, I'm glad because he would be the one to take it harder. And the text I got from him was, are you planning to come this way at all for Christmas? So it sounds like, okay, he's already been clued in that it might not happen.
Because, yeah, don't you go every year, usually?
I usually go for Christmas, but some years like this year, I go in the summer when Michigan is pleasant instead. It's a long drive.
Yeah, 5 hours is no joke.
So
I was thinking I kind of want to do another Q&A episode.
Oh, okay.
At some point before the end of the year. Because we did that in 2022 and it was really fun.
I'll have to go back and listen to that.
It was the in-person episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. People asked us questions. So if you follow us on Instagram, I should be posting something about that. And we may or may not do an awards ceremony.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about that at all.
Probably not at this point.
Yeah, I think just doing a Q&A with people would be a good yearly wrap-up something.
Yeah, so if you have any burning questions for us, that would be your chance to ask.
Anything that you believe you still don't know after... I don't know how many episodes started, 290 or something like that. No, we're not. I
like how you say anything you believe you don't know. Like they might know it anyway. It's just been like they've soaked it up and they don't even realize that they know it.
I was thinking more in terms like, I think there's something that you're not telling me. Like, I bet you're hiding this. And it's like, maybe? Or maybe I'll just say, nope, you're wrong.
Ooh, yeah. I would love to get some spicy questions like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not spicy like sexual.
No. We already had the sex-isode.
The sex-isode. Classic. Oh, yeah. On that note, I think we're done for today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love you guys, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xtinajumper, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.